Hi, it's Wayne from Jiger ATV.ca. We are no longer in Canada. We are down here in the beautiful state of Utah. It has been a long 20-hour drive because we're coming down here to recover another jigger. So late last fall, I got an email from a fellow down here in Utah saying that his dad had a jigger and he was wondering if I'd be interested in buying it. So, being that it's a long ways away from where I am in Canada, I thought, well, it's far away, but hey, do you have any pictures of it? Let's see what it looks like. And when he took some photos and sent them to me, I was astounded. Not only was it an amazing shape, it had all the original parts, had all the original pieces, but most iconically, it is a twin engine jigger, one of the first production models. And I have never seen one this complete. We emailed back and forth, we talked on the phone a few times, and he was willing to hold on to it till I could come down here, till the Canadian winter was over, and here we are to recover it. Okay, let me just catch you up to where we're at. It's early the next morning. We picked it up yesterday afternoon. So we spent some time loading it. I know there's probably a bunch of you out there that are saying there's larger trucks and trailers that you can use. That probably would have fit this thing easier. But let's just say, to put on 2,000 kilometers onto a vehicle, this was the most affordable solution. And actually, it was really, really comfortable drive. So yeah, we made it work. We had to use some wood blocking and some pallets just to hold it up so it would fit in right, strapped it down. Yeah, it was a bit of a task to get it done. So yeah, we did spend some time also with the family. They're passing over the history. What I thought I was buying was a really amazing condition Jiger twin. I don't think I've ever owned or know of anybody who owns a vehicle that was more well documented than this has been. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm gonna just spend some time right now in the morning tarping it up. What I didn't mention before was this thing came with 7 spare tires. So I have all of the original straight tread non-chevron tires. Some of them don't hold air, but they are still been kept out of the sun for the past 60 years. So I just need to find room for those inside. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of cardboard underneath there, or a piece of wood, because I don't want that wearing in. Or I just move that one. Yeah, I'll just move that one. No point in. Let's move it out this way. Okay, let's try and tarp it. that'll do until I can get to Harbor Freight and get a few more bungees. I think a good pack of bungees and it should be good to go. Just gotta slam my mess. So we're all packed up, leaving Utah, headed for home. We were down here for a couple of days, doing some stuff. We had a good opportunity to test the tie-down straps for the Jiger in the back because we headed out to the Bonnyville Salt Flats, which for you speed freaks, you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, it's worth Googling. It's a pretty cool place. The one thing is that a lot of famous races have been done there. The second thing is, trials-wise, about 30 minutes out, it is considered a high wind area, and it's actually posted on the highways. And yes, it is a high wind area. So we've tested everything, nothing blew off, nothing broke off. So I think we're ready for the 20-hour drive back home. That's 20 hours plus a Canadian border crossing. So we are in North Dakota, about an hour and a half from the Canadian border. Didn't want to make this video a travel vlog, but it's hard not to. We left Utah, went up through a town called Cody, which is named after Buffalo Bill Cody. Great little town. From there we went up the Chief Joseph Trail, which is a beautiful mountain trail, and came down across the Beartooth Pass on Beartooth Highway 212. If anybody ever gets a chance to go up there, it is a beautiful, beautiful drive. It's closed during the winter, so we were lucky. It opened just 3 or 4 days before we left Utah. It was a beautiful drive. They plowed it, so there's like places you can see 5 to 8 to 10 feet of snow. They plowed the highways out, and a beautiful, picturesque place. So we did that. I had mentioned before how we kind of tested all the tarps and all the straps going to the Bonnyville Salt Flats. Yeah, no. We did 6 hours across Montana with insane winds, like winds that were much more than we saw on the way to Bonnyville. It pretty much took care of my tarp that was going over the Jiger. It ripped it up through the middle, so we bought some bungee cords and we have them holding together. So far so good. Yeah, so we're about an hour and a half away from the border, and I just wanted to kind of review the difficulty it was, and we'll see how it goes now as we cross over. About 6 months ago, when I knew I was bringing this, I had started the paperwork process, and without going into great detail, to try and move a motorized vehicle from the US into Canada, which I did learn, and many of you might know, you have to export it from the US before importing it into Canada, so 2 sets of paperwork. To bring a vehicle across the border that is 60 years old, has no VIN number, has the company that made it hasn't been around for 50 years, and really has no legal country of origin. That's very difficult. So after probably 3 or 4 months of doing circles through all the different hoops and things and paperwork, I decided to just hire a broker. So they did the paperwork for me. They agreed. It's difficult to prove where it was built and prove when it was built and who owned it, when, why, whatever. So I submitted newspaper articles, I submitted brochures with the company name on it. It doesn't prove that it was made in Canada, but there was no other American places mentioned. So we'll see. We're about to cross the border and we'll see how things go. Welcome to Canada. We were at the Canadian Customs for about 10 minutes. All the paperwork was good. So yeah, it definitely pays to have a broker deal with all the politics and all of the paperwork. So yeah, we are on our way back home, a couple more hours, and then I will do a little bit of a unloading video as well. And here it is, the newest member of the collection. Wow, it's an amazing shape. Like I mentioned when we were in Utah, I kind of thought on the outside I was buying a really amazing condition Jiger twin, which in itself would have been amazing. But this thing is a time capsule. The seller's father, who purchased it originally, he kept everything. I have all the pieces of paper, I have the brochures, I have newspaper articles that regarded this machine and some things I'd never seen before. And this thing's just in amazing shape. He kept all the old tires, even if some of the tires were leaking, he kept all of them. I have the toolkit. I'm probably gonna do a detail of this one because it's amazing. So for most people, it would be a pretty cool ATV. Thanks to the seller to contact me, because for me this is a amazing piece of history. I totally see now that I've seen this one, how this was the progression from the Jiger prototype to the 152 and the 197. Yeah, lots of custom parts on this, and I can see how this wasn't really an assembly line Jiger. It had so many custom parts, and I can see now how the 152 and the 197 had much more assembly line parts, things that could be made quickly, things that could be bought from other suppliers. This one has lots of custom parts. So I will do a detailed video on this, especially the tires. I will probably have to revisit my tire video because there's some things that I've learned with the tires that I have that I didn't know before. The biggest thing that I didn't know how long Jiger was making its own valve stem. So they didn't use the Schrader valve right at the beginning. Because there's only a couple of pounds of pressure, they thought that the Schrader valve was a bit overkill. So they made just a ball valve. They made it themselves in the factory. Just a spring ball valve that you could blow up the tires yourself with a hose. But at some point in time, they switched to the Schrader valve. I thought it was when the Chevron tires were built with BF Goodrich, but that is not true, because I have Jiger tires, the Chevron style, that have the Jiger ball valve. So yeah, I have a few things I'm gonna look into. Like I said, I think I'm gonna do a detailed video a little more in depth when I have some time, because there's a lot of things those of you who have this one might wanna know. But yeah, it's a time capsule. This thing hasn't really been touched. The only things that I know have been touched from original were, well, I'm missing one of the red hand grips, but I do have one of the original red hand grips, and really the air cleaners. The air cleaners, the seller added 2 just pod filters, just to keep dirt out of the carbs at some point in time, but he kept all the parts, all the aluminum pieces that Jiger had made in the factory. They're all still in the box. All the mechanisms still work, all the springs still work, everything is oiled up, like everything's free and clear. The brakes move and they grip. This is the only production Jiger that has 2 engines. Yeah, stay tuned for a detailed video. This was quite an adventure. Again, thanks for the seller for contacting me and the family for giving me time to visit with them and learn so many really good stories. And yeah, stay tuned for more stuff. This one is a good one, and it will be a great add to the collection. if I can, what I'll do is I'll try and get the prototype, this one, and my 152 all side by side, so you can kind of see all three and do a detailed video that way. I gotta find some space to do that. And then really the close of the collection is finishing my 197, which is still in parts, and it's still, the body's ready for paint, or close to ready for paint, but I have all the parts to get that together. Once that's done, I will have quite a collection, and looking forward to showing it to you.